Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room, and we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Right there.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Go, go, go. Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare. Chance. 24.
Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. They run again on first down, Lynch. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. 20. Touchdown, Houston. Marshawn Lynch, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Oh, here we go. 694.
Shotgun now for Carr. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Check. 18. Check. 42's the mark. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it.
After the interception, here's Watson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Maurice Hurst Coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Here we go, Keith. Here I come. Here I come. Mike 42.
Back to throw, Watson. Flushed out right. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Back to the ground, this time Lynch. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Watson. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
It's going to be a long day.
First down, the run with Lynch. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Lynch, the lone man in the backfield now on 2nd and goal.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Sponge. 31.
They get it to him running left. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Marshawn Lynch with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Texans push further out in front. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Throwing right, and that's complete. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
637.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10.
41 Mike. 41 Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming. Hey, you.
Throwing again. Carr. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. This game, this matchup means a little more to the Carr family. Derek Carr's brother David, of course, the first overall pick in 2002 by these Houston Texans. Spent 5 years as the Texans starter, and then he would eventually spend 6 more years as a backup in the league at various spots before calling it a career. Here's Jacobs on first and 10. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports. On second and 9, Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards on the play. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. It's the fullback. His 4th touchdown on the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 13-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Check, 42's the mic. Check, 42.
Now it's Watson. Flush to his right. Pass incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, Thus, the incompletion.
On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, and their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target, deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. There defensively to knock it away was the safety, Justin Reed.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Watson now to throw. Going up top. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw it with one of the better defense coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
You 734. Hey, orbit. 41.
Crunch time, defense.
Get down. Get down.
From the gun, Carr. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Looking downfield for Jones. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
He's letting this one go. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check. Lucky.
Carr gives to Richard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
93.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. first down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will get them one closer.
Raiders 17.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson. Being chased out left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw is Watson. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Throw left side complete. It's Jacobs. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10.
Hey, exit. 55. Switch. Check, 55 to Mike. Check, 55.
Carr to throw again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. On second down, Jacobs. And same result. He's going to take this just to the line of scrimmage before running into a brick wall.
Partner's been my experience that after two stops like that near the goal line, defense has only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
Had the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. Carr now on third and goal. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 38, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, 62 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 24. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10.
Mike, 29. 55, Mike.
Hey, I said.
Throwing now is Carr. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a second and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Carr going to give it to Jacobs, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Come on now, let's go.
One down. 180. Hey, 734.
They're running it.
From midfield, here's Carr. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Give him a couple on the catch. It's second and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So second and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw is Carr. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first. Watson on first down. Buying time to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit,
A gain of a yard brings up second and 9.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike set. 19.
Check, Mike 42. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check, nickel.
24.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
19.
42's the mic. Come on. Come on, D.
Alert.
Mike's 42. Mike's 42. Silver.
54.
Check.
Again, it's Johnson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
I got it.
59.
Mike.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game as his guys continue to pour it on. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
48. Raiders 17.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Mike. Down. 180.
Right there in the middle. 55.
Express. Express.
55. Check. 55. Mike.
Raider one.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Check 55 to Mike.
Yeah. You know,
637.
Throwing again. Carr. Jones has it. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
A gain of 19 yards.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end direct.
And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll run again with Lynch. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Makes it 3rd and 11.
Back to throw, Watson. Steps away to his left. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brandon Dunn breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Carr going to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here I come again. Here I come.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you.
It's caught inside the 25. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check.
Throwing now. Watson flushed out right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber.
Check. Fresno.
Express.
Fresno. Check 26.
808.
Watch twist.
Put that down. That's it.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 16. And he will score. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This will be taken very short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo
Exactly.
going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling again.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
25-yard line.
What down? 180.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
I'm coming. Yo, Chief.
Out.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
A gain of 3 yards. It's now fourth down. Today's final score,
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Houston, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Oakland, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.